Have you ever opened up a kitchen cabinet and found a gadget that looks like it belongs in a museum? Maybe it's a lime green egg scrambler or an avocado-colored electric can opener. If you've held on to any quirky kitchen tools from the 1980s, you're not alone. The 1980s were a time of innovation in appliance and gadget design. Companies were coming up with creative products to make kitchen tasks faster, easier, and more efficient. Some of these gadgets became essential tools that we still use today. But others were soon relegated to the back of junk drawers or your local thrift store. Join me as we take a walk down memory lane and revisit 13 kitschy kitchen gadgets that were hot items in the 1980s. First up, the salad shooter. This electric shredder pulverized vegetables in seconds with high-speed spinning blades. It came in fun colors like green apple and pink grapefruit. The salad shooter quickly chopped lettuce for dinner salads and made quick work of shredding carrots or cabbage for slaw. This handy gadget was a must-have for the health-conscious 80s kitchen. Chopped salad bars were all the rage in the 1980s, and the salad shooter let you recreate that restaurant experience at home with freshly shredded vegetables on demand. It was great for whipping up quick weeknight meals or chopping veggies for parties. No self-respecting host would serve bagged iceberg lettuce back then. The salad shooter gave your dinner table major cool points, but its popularity soon wilted away. The salad shooter lost out to food processors that offered more versatility. Giant, unwieldy bases made these bulky appliances a pain to store, and they were a real hassle to clean with blades and parts that didn't go in the dishwasher. Eventually, the novelty wore off, and cooks realized knives and cutting boards worked just fine for most salad prep needs. You can still find this gadget lurking in thrift stores, but it's no longer found on wedding registries. How about the pasta maker? This countertop appliance extruded spaghetti and linguine with a hand crank. Making fresh pasta used to require serious elbow grease. But pasta makers made it a breeze. Sort of. Just pour in flour and eggs, churn the handle, and watch strands of linguine magically appear. What could be better than the heavenly aroma of fresh pasta? Pasta making seemed sophisticated in the 1980s. Italian restaurants were trendy spots for date nights, and pasta makers promised a taste of Tuscan cuisine in your own kitchen. There was something satisfying about being able to whip up a batch of fettuccine alfredo from scratch, but spending 30 minutes churning out noodles got old fast, and cleaning all those parts was a chore. Store-bought pasta was much more convenient for busy weeknights. The novelty wore off, and pasta makers eventually joined other single-use appliances in kitchen limbo. But the Italians were certainly onto something with fresh pasta. We've since seen a revival of pasta makers that are easier and less time-consuming to use. Compact electric models deliver restaurant-quality pasta in minutes, and servers of oh-way gooey baked ziti everywhere rejoice. Nothing said convenience like the bread machine in the late 80s. The ability to dump ingredients into a machine and walk away with a beautiful loaf of bread seemed like magic. Waiting for bread to rise could be hit or miss. But bread machines did all the work for you with preset cycles. The aroma of freshly baked bread wafting from the kitchen was irresistible. Having a bread machine felt downright domestic. You pictured yourself in a flowy skirt with fresh baked bread cooling on the counter as your family gathered around the table. But consistent results were tricky. Dense hockey pucks came out as often as perfect loaves despite following recipes exactly. Finicky yeast and moisture levels meant your bread dreams were easily dashed. Bread machines faded in popularity as consumers decided the yeasty kitchen science experiments weren't worth the counter space. However, technology eventually caught up, and today's models deliver tasty loaves with little effort thanks to improved temperature controls. Now you can enjoy the wholesome charm of home-baked bread without the stress. Batch cooking was a breeze with the microwave Cookbook rack. This contraption stacked food in a tower to cook everything from a casserole to bacon using the power of the futuristic microwave oven. Just load up the plastic racks and start layering. With the press of a button, you could cook an entire meal from frozen to hot in minutes. It was kitchen magic. The microwave was still new tech in the 1980s, and everyone was trying to figure out how to maximize this marvel. Cookbook racks promised a shortcut to easy dinners. No more slaving over a hot stove. But the novelty soon wore off. Towers of food often collapsed, spilling leaning towers of lasagna all over the inside of your new microwave. Gross. And you still had to stand over the microwave, stopping and starting it to rotate all the dishes. Was it really easier? Microwave technology advanced quickly in the 80s with additions like turntables and Vario cook settings that evenly cooked food without rotation. Cooks realized it was easier to just microwave foods in sequences versus relying on rickety plastic racks. No tears were shed retiring these tipsy towers from kitchens across America. The egg scrambler promised fluffy diner-style eggs without all the whisking effort. But using this odd wire whip contraption didn't actually save much time or energy over good old-fashioned scrambling in a bowl. The results were dense and rubbery too. No fluff to be found. Cleaning those wire whips was annoying as well. Bits of egg were impossible to wash off completely, and they took up a ton of space either sitting on the counter or shoved in a drawer. Stovetop scrambling really wasn't much more work, and your forearms got a workout. So the egg scrambler eventually ended up in the back of the cupboard with other Failaduni taskers. Likewise, the Bagel Baker quickly lost appeal. These countertop appliances used electric heating elements to warm and evenly toast bagels cut side up. The Bagel Baker solved the problem of only toasting bagel halves that fit in your toaster slots. But ovens and conventional pop-up toasters produced better results without the single-use hassle. And who wants another bulky appliance taking up precious counter space? The novelty of perfectly oval bagel halves wasn't worth it, especially considering the hassle of storing, cleaning, and eventually throwing out another plastic gadget. The Bagel Baker found its way to thrift stores almost as quickly as it appeared in kitchens. The hot dogger electrified plump Franks into dancing, sizzling links in under a minute. It gave new meaning to the term fast food. Kids loved seeing hot dogs seemingly come alive and do tricks with the zap of electricity. The 80s were all about gadgets, and kids especially were wowed. But cooking hot dogs in boiling water was only marginally more time-consuming without the risk of getting shocked, and health concerns eventually arose about possibly ingesting plastic molecules from the heating tray. The fun soon faded, and the novelty wore off once the thrill of dancing wieners dimmed. Off to the garage sale it went. For popcorn lovers, the popcorn pumper injected hot oil into kernels and stirred the pot automatically. No more shaking a heavy pan for what felt like an hour. Finally, a way to enjoy fresh popcorn without sore arms. The popcorn pumper was a hit for movie night or snacking, but the flavor didn't quite measure up to stovetop or air-popped corn. Microwaves soon provided the easiest and tastiest popcorn with virtually no effort. Ultimately, the popcorn pumper wasn't essential for making this tasty snack. The novelty soon popped and faded like an old kernel left in the pot. Perk up your ears, coffee lovers. The coffee station boasted an automated drip brewer, grinder, and thermos dispenser for piping hot Java in minutes. At the push of a button, sleepyheads could wake up to fresh ground goodness. But keeping all those parts clean? The stuff of nightmares. Single-serve pods sent the coffee station packing. Nothing made you feel more like a bona fide chef than the sizzling sparks of an electric knife sharpener. These electrifying gadgets transformed your dull blades into razor-sharp sabers with the pull of a handle, but they quickly fell out of favor. Safety concerns arose about unsupervised kids using them, resulting in a few too many trips to the ER for sliced fingers. And grocery store sharpening services offered more reliable, consistent results anyway. As knife skills improved, cooks also realized honing steel's properly maintained edges between sharpenings. While electric sharpeners are still available, they're no longer found in most homes. But they made us feel cool back in the 80s. The Pizza Quick was a revolutionary 2-in-1 for pizza lovers in the 80s. This countertop appliance assembled and cooked frozen pizza with heat above and below for crispy crust and melted cheese in minutes. No more waiting an hour for delivery or reheating sad leftover slices. Its refrigerated drawer kept additional slices ready for quick meals or snacks too. What's not to love? But ultimately, microwaving or conventional ovens worked fine for most pizza needs, and few enjoyed limp cold pizza from the drawer. The Pizza Quick was soon thrown out along with funky leftovers. Finally, the yogurt maker enabled homemade yogurt with live active cultures, tangy and tart, just how you like it. No longer were we limited to sugary, artificial store-bought brands. But holding milk at the perfect 115 F for hours required lots of babysitting. And don't even mention the cleanup of those tiny containers. For many, homemade yogurt wasn't worth the effort. Thankfully, Instant Pots now effortlessly whip up perfect yogurt after a good night's sleep. No more fussy yogurt makers taking up precious counter space. What memories came flooding back for you seeing these retro appliances? Let me know in the comments which one you owned and loved or hated. What forgotten kitchen gadget would you love to see make a comeback? Click like and subscribe for more blasts from the past. And may all your kitchen experiments turn out better than Uncle Roger's fried rice.